Professor for Gyampo. But before we go to that, some few hours ago, there was a fire outbreak at the Makola Mall. And we understand that the CBG branch of that in that area, the Makola Market Mall, was also almost compromised by this fire outbreak. And the Ghana National Fire Service has been attending to that fire outbreak at the Makola Market Mall. So that is the information that we have. And it started at about 1 a.m. Earlier today. That's the information that we're getting. Professor Gyampo, so beyond this state of emergency call and so on, there are children, in fact, that have been affected.
No, affected.
And then also, we also got to know
don't send me there. I mean, let me have my bite on all that have been said.
And then you will get into the impact that is having.
Let me. That's what I want. Let me have my. You see, we started this program at 7:15. It is 7:24. 8:24. So over 1 hour, you've given my 3 colleagues all the time to be talking. Indeed. And when I was quiet, they are telling me that it's because it's not in my area.
Which I disagree.
Yes. I have a lot of things to say. And then our colleague who is joining...
He's taking a lot of notes.
Yes, I mean... So I'll plead that you would apportion the time so that it would not look like we are redundant. And
not at all.
You know, I was in a rush to this place, and as a result of that, I forgot my spectacles. So the things I've written here, I can't even read them. and they were saying that after wearing the spectacles for some time, I can fully see. Today I abandoned it. I can't have written things here. I cannot even see.
I'm happy you can regurgitate your memories.
Let me read for you.
Let me struggle and see. But you see, a couple of weeks ago, I met a group of students, and I was advising them to take their education serious and to ensure that whatever we are teaching them, they imbibe and then they apply, and that they shouldn't be cutting corners in trying to get their degrees. Otherwise, then their degrees will become questionable. And then also, if their degrees are questionable tomorrow, if they are reposed with important positions of trust, they will disappoint us. So I quickly gave an example that if you want to be a pilot, there are requirements that you have to fulfill. If you don't fulfill those requirements and you are cutting corners, you'll be given a plane to fly. And then anytime we go sit in a plane, we have a lot of confidence and trust in the pilot, like the way we have confidence in God. We put our lives in the hands of the pilot. Now, if the pilot were to be somebody who cut corners and in his bid to acquire his education and all that, then he would jeopardize human life. I think I said that 2 weeks ago to some students, and it appears that it is playing out with this particular VRA, matter. It appears that some people's education and certificates are questionable. And that's how come we are getting to where we are getting to. It's not about bagging all the degrees and all the masters and all the PhDs. It's about also how you backed them and how you are going to make sure that they are applicable to the problems that you are supposed to be solving. It also appears to me that there's been poor implementation of the project as eruditely articulated by Honorable Andy Apia Kubi, that there were places that people were not supposed to settle. And who had the duty to ensure that those people never settled there in the first place? Per the project, this particular matter had to be implemented such that you would go quickly to tell the people who were located so close to the banks of the rivers that, look, it could get full, and when we decide to spill, this is likely to happen. Nobody was implementing. And then also it appears that there is the lack of patriotism on the part of many of us, even in our quest to discharge duties reposed in us. You are spilling, but without thinking about its impact on the lives of other people. And right from the word go, even before benefiting from the invaluable information from the members of parliament here, I sat down and I was asking, couldn't this have been done bit by bit? And couldn't we have averted, the situation? So there is clearly lack of patriotism on the part of the duty bearers. And then, so negligence, has been talked about. And what you guys have all avoided, I will go there. But let me also say that, let me comment the University of Ghana branch of the University Teachers Association of Ghana.
Yes.
For the swift statement they issued.
Which you are the president.
Yes, I am the president. For the swift statement we issued to commiserate with our colleagues and our friends, our brothers and sisters who are undergoing and experiencing this particular havoc. And we did not only commiserate with them, but we've initiated intervention. We've initiated a program that would ensure that we contribute fiscal cash to send to them to help them alleviate the challenges that they are going through. So, Honorable Roxanne, very soon you hear of us. Our people are contributing vigorously, and we want to help alleviate the challenges affecting the people. But I think the key issue for me is about the kind of demeanor and I don't know, but the demeanor of the president when he visited. I thought that the president, it is important for us to make this point. Yes, you may have served your term and you may be exiting, but the president has a responsibility to leave a certain legacy that posterity will be proud of. I didn't like the gestures and the demeanors of the president who visited these victims, especially when he was talking to the Togbi and was pointing his left hand at him. You, I'm telling you that if it were, I'm coming here and it's a matter affecting the nation, and if it were to be votes, getting votes, I thought that particular part of the statement was completely irrelevant. It was not statesmanly. It was unnecessary. I must confess, he ended well by trying to massage or to fix the challenge that he himself had created in his in the statement that in his presentation. But the particular aspect of trying to talk about votes and trying to be pointing left fingers at the Togbi and all that, in my view, was completely unacceptable. In times of disasters like this, all people require is leadership. Okay, leadership. In times of disasters like this, we require leadership. And when we are talking about leadership, we are talking about ability to inspire confidence in people. Okay, so your utterances should inspire confidence in them and make them feel that we can overcome this challenge. But the way a manner he spoke, in my view, was completely unpresidential, and it's becoming one too many. And we, with the greatest of respect to the president, there are certain chiefs that when you appear before them, you wouldn't be able to have this kind of courage to speak the way the president spoke. And I think that the days where Kwame Nkrumah threatened that upon attainment of independence, he would ensure chiefs will run away and leave their sandals behind them are long gone. Fast forward to the PNDC era that introduced decentralization, that empowered DCEs to authorize the beating of gong gong, that also undermined or took over some of the functions, of the chiefs. Okay, all were errors that undermined the autonomy and authority and the respect of the chiefs. it was because of this that the framers of the 1992 Constitution said that, well, one of the mechanisms for introducing to bring back the lost respect and image of the chief, is to ensure that they don't do partisan politics. And so we ourselves as a nation, we've been able to put in place mechanism to ensure that at least our traditional rulers are respected. And so the last thing that you want a certain president to do is to make comments that can be described as condescending. I think it was absolutely unacceptable. The other bit is the lackadaisical attitude in trying to impose a state of emergency. I've heard so many comments. It may not be so, but I've heard so many comments to the effect that it's an attempt to punish the people of that region. It may not be so. It may not be so. But you see, if declaring a state of emergency would not cost us money, but will rather attract assistance, then what is the point in being lackadaisical in declaring it? If you don't do that, then you feed into the perception or into the narrative that maybe because the president said that if it's about vote getting, I wouldn't be here, then you are trying to find a backdoor way to punish the people. And like I said, it may not be so. And if it is not so, if it's not so, then let there be a swift action in declaring a state of emergency so that we can benefit from all the interventions that will help alleviate the challenges and the difficulties that our people are going through, so that would also not be feeding into certain narrative, because I don't believe that we should have it in our psyche that the sitting president or a certain segment of the people ruling are for a region or are anti or are against a particular. Once you are elected as president, you become a father for all. Indeed. And so we should not even allow that idea to fester, that maybe the president likes this people, he doesn't like this. It is not right. And one of the things that would ensure that that idea doesn't fester around is for the kind of swift intervention that will be brought about when a state of emergency is declared. So I urge the president that if it will not hurt us, if the IMF conditionalities do not forbid us from declaring state of emergency, then immediately let them do so, and so that we would have a basket of assistance, coming from all walks of life to assist and to help alleviate the challenges of our people.